related. It's an extension of the same. We dealt with oral literature. We said oral literature, we divide it in two broad categories: oral narratives oral poems, stroke songs. Then we talked about the short forms here: proverbs, riddles, tongue twisters, jokes and puns. This is basically what we covered last time. We concentrated on the oral narratives, and today, our main lesson today is about the oral poems and songs. And a very interesting question I always ask my students: what is a song? And I get very interesting answers: gengeton, reggae, raga, hip hop, and so on. They are songs, but when we are dealing with oral literature, we don't deal with those contemporary songs. We deal with the songs our forefathers, our grandmothers and fathers were singing. Remember, in those times, we did not have the technology, the TVs and what, but they were still having fun. You know, oral literature is all about the way of life. How are they living? If you ask today, what do you do in your free time? You can tell us you watch a movie, you listen to those music, you do everything. But in those days when there was not that technology, what were they doing? They were doing these things. That is oral literature. So when we deal with songs, that's our main lesson for today. In our African societies, the way it was, everything, all activities were accompanied by songs and dances. They marked every stage of life, every stage, from birth to death. Every activity you did, there was a song. And it was very interesting. And most singing is done in a given rhythm, accompanied by dancing. Imagine when you have to sing for everything you do. Now that is what they were doing in the society. And before I go to the songs, because that is where I'll concentrate, I want to highlight some sound patterns in songs. Songs have patterns. And these sound patterns, as you can see on your screen, we have alliteration. I will explain a bit. Alliteration, assonance, consonance, rhyme, onomatopoeia, and ideophones. These are basically sound patterns. They are part of the features, although I'm coming to features later, because in the exam, sometimes when you are given a song, they will ask you to identify the sound patterns. The good thing about English and oral literature, we really do definitions. They will never ask you in the exam, define this, define this. They ask you to identify. So the same we do with this, you just explain. If you know it, you can get it. If we write a song here and I ask you, can you identify the sound patterns, you just need at least to be well averse with at least 2 or 3. What is alliteration? Alliteration is basically, it deals with consonant sounds. This deals with sounds. So when you deal with consonants, these are vowels, so all the others, and so on, up to Z, those are consonants. Because basically we have two sounds, vowel sounds and consonant sounds. And again, we say don't confuse the sounds with the alphabetical letters. Sometimes you ask a student, can you identify a sound? And they tell you sound A. There is no sound A. A is an alphabetical letter. That is sound A, sound A, sound E, sound O, sound U. So if I ask you to identify a sound and you tell me you will be a consonant. You. This is B. These are consonants, these are vowels. So alliteration, this is where two or more words are repeated in close proximity. The initial word, I'll give you an example of alliteration. In the middle E of the little, this sound E, alliteration. Then you come to assonance. Assonance deals with vowels. This is when you repeat the vowels. Then consonants, it's still the repetition of consonants, but either at the end of as a word. Then rhyming words, these are words that have repetition of similar sounds. You can talk about, I came to thee, in them to me. This E, those are rhyming words, they rhyme. And then when you are dealing with onomatopoeia, these are words that imitate or provoke the sound that they refer to. For example, when you're talking about a snake was hissing. That hissing, that is onomatopoeia. The cow was mooing. You get that the word imitates the sound. The sound, it reflects. A flash, a splash. He fell with a thud. He was banging the door. Those words, banging, it is imitating the sound it is reflecting. You are talking about a lion roaring. That's onomatopoeia. Then when you come to idiophone is related to onomatopoeia. But one thing about idiophone, these are not words you get in the dictionary. An idiophone is the actual sound. The actual sound produced. For example, you can say, he was knocking, kakakaka. That kakakaka, that's an idiophone. He felt boo. That boo is an idiophone. So those are sound patterns. Then we have now some common features of songs. Remember, we'll be covering various types of songs, but there is some common features. That is what we'll cover now. Common features, as you can see on the screen, we have repetition, we have direct translation, we have direct address, we have apostrophe, we have dramatization, we have anonymity, and euphemism. And I will try to take you through each feature just for clarity. When you talk about repetition, songs are repetitive. That is one very key feature of songs. Very repetitive. You sing, either you repeat a word or a line, or even a whole verse. That is repetition. You are singing, you are repeating. Ni do ni re gari dato, ni do ni re gari dato, ni do ni re gari, so and so on and so on. That repetition, that is repetition. Then there is direct translation. Direct. Remember, we are dealing with songs from contemporary African societies. So sometimes you want to translate this song and you translate it directly. Abbas, Bavi, direct translation. You don't change anything. From the language you got the song and you want to sing that song in your language, you just translate it directly, just like the word itself. Then we have a direct address. Direct address, this is where you address. In your song, it's like you are addressing your subject or the audience directly. I can sing a song, you people of KU, you people of KU, blah, blah, blah. You are addressing the people of KU and you address them directly. Most songs have that. Then we have apostrophe. Apostrophe is another feature which is almost like direct address, but in apostrophe, we deal with the dead. When you are dealing with somebody who has died and you are addressing them like they are alive, like they can hear you. Mbona umeniacha na nani, he burudi. That's just an example. Now you are singing a song, you are addressing somebody who died, but you are singing like they can hear you. You are just pouring emotions. It's like you are looking at that grave and asking questions. Why did it have to be you? Why did you not give me a chance to tell you goodbye? Why did you not give me a chance to tell you sorry? The last time you were alive, we had an argument. I wanted to tell you sorry, but I never got that chance. That's why I feel so bad. That is now what we call apostrophe. It's a direct address, but in direct address, you address people who are living. But when it is apostrophe, people who are dead. Another key feature of songs, dramatization. Dramatization. You are dealing with songs, you have to dramatize to make the song lively. Remember, songs is not like reading news. I know you watch the bulletins here at KUTV. It's not like the way you will come here and just stand here and start singing. Like you're reporting news. No, you have to dramatize. Twende juu, twende juu, twende juu, chini, 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 and so on. That is dramatization. You are doing it. You are doing it. Then another feature is anonymity. Most African songs, if you ask somebody who sang that song, they don't know. We don't even know who was the original artist. That is why nowadays they even being remixed. You don't know. That is anonymity. You see a song, it is so popular, so common, like the song I was singing, that is a song, if I ask you who was the artist, who is the original artist, nobody knows. It's anonymous. It's a very common feature of these oral African songs. Very common feature. When you sing the song children are singing, we'll deal with that when we come to the actual songs. You go to a crowd, you start singing that song, you find people know the song. They join you, you start singing the song, but if you ask them, who sang that song? They don't know. I also don't know. That is anonymity. Anonymity. Anonymous. Then the last one is euphemism. Euphemism. One thing that pride us as Africans is our respect. The respect. So, one of these euphemism helps us to maintain our respect and our dignity. There are things you cannot say. Even if your song is communicating a certain message, you cannot say that message directly. Itakuwa na kutokuwa na heshima. So you use euphemism. Like if you are going to the toilet, everybody knows the business you do in the toilet. But even if you are, as your teacher, if you are my student, you want to request me to go to the toilet, you don't just come and tell me, excuse me teacher, may I go, and you know the business you do in the toilet. You don't say that. You employ euphemism, that you go, I want to go for a short call, excuse me, may I go out? You don't have to mention it. That is what we do in the African songs. Those things that were, the things that are considered vulgar or obscene, you don't mention them. Now we come to our main now class, that is classification of songs. This is our main lesson for today. Classification of songs. Like I said when we were starting, everything in the African society was done with a song. So I just want, because we have various categories, I want you to understand it like a chain. From the time a baby is born, there was a song. The life of a baby. The baby is born, yeah? We call it the cradle. There is a chain until death. So many activities from the time your parents give birth to you to the time you die. And all those activities had a song. So we'll try to go step by step. And I want to encourage you students. I will just explain the song. I want you to get examples from your community. Every African community had a song for everything. So all you have to do is to do a small research. Just ask your parent, ask your grandmother, grandfather, ask, and you know in African society, when I ask you, sometimes I usually ask my students, go and consult this from your grandparent. And the student is comfortably telling you, no, you know, teacher, my grandmother died, my grandfather died. No, in African society, because of what we are talking about, our respect and our dignity, when I'm talking about your grandparent, it is any elder who is the age of your actual grandparent. That is your grandparent. So when I tell you, go and research, go to Shosho and ask, which songs were sung when somebody was born? Even if your Shosho is not around, ask anybody the age of your Shosho, they will tell you. And normally in a class, actually when you are having a school, you're in a school in an area like this, like in Nairobi area, where you have mixed races, you get very much content because you get a student from Nyanza giving you a Luo song, a student from Kisii land, a student from Nyeri giving you the Kikuyu songs, a student from Ukambani giving you a Kamba song, a student from Mombasa, and because all of them, they have songs from their society. So we'll go step by step, as we discuss these songs. We discuss the song and we say when the song was sung and why it was sung. And then you, as the viewer, you can get the song. You look for an example of a song. So we start with the obvious one, bird song. What is a bird song? A bird song was the song sung when a baby was born. When a baby is born, they would come there and sing and sing. In most African societies, a baby boy was given 5 relations. Gemi tano. In Kikuyu we say gemi tano siya mwana wakahi. A baby girl was given 4 ululations. So actually as the man was not supposed to be where the baby is born. So the man will walk out, the women will go and take care of the mother. And for the man to know, you know, not like today, where even you do the scanning, even before you give birth, You already know the sex of the baby. You already know, is it a boy or a girl. But in the African society, you could just hope and pray. You would find a man saying, I just wish my wife would give me the first one to be a baby boy. I want to feel. And then sometimes you get so many boys, then you're saying, I wish my wife can give birth to a girl. I want to have a girl. You know, depending on the reasons. Some people will say you want your wife to give birth to a baby boy because you want security, protection. You know, mboma ambayo iko na vijana, it's considered very safe. Even thieves fear visiting. But also, a parent would wish to have a girl because, remember, when you have boys, you go and pay bride price when they want to marry, the dowry. But if you have girls, mali inakuja. So sometimes now as the man, you are out there and you just listen. When they start singing the bad song and they give the ululations, if you hear 5 and you wanted a boy, you are like, yes. Now that is a rock, that is a shield. If you wanted a girl and you hear 4 ululations, you say, nimezaliwa maito. So those are bad songs. I hope you, from your community, you can do a research of a bad song. Now the baby has been born. What happens to that baby? You go to another song. Naming song. The baby had to be given a name. And names, unlike today, you know, sometimes today, you get some people, even you find, you ask somebody, what is your name? I'm teacher Ernest Mwangi, Jogona Mwangi. What does that name mean? Sometimes you don't even know. Actually, another assignment I'm giving you, my viewers, just ask, why were you named like that? You know, in African society, okay, various communities had different ways of naming, but the most common way is that you are named after your parents, your grandparent. If I have a baby boy, a firstborn, I name that child after my father's name. If it's a baby girl, the secondborn, my mother's name. If you continue like that, you go to your wife's parents. But you are naming your child after your grandfather, and you don't even know why your grandfather was called that. Those naming songs, like today you can find there is somebody who has stayed for a long time without getting a baby, then eventually they get a baby, and that person decides to call the baby Blessing. Why? Because that person feels blessed to have that baby. You can have somebody calling the child Mercy. We are talking about nowadays. Mercy, because maybe you wanted some mercy, wanted to be forgiven on something. But now when you come to the African names, you will find somebody is called Kenyua. Maybe you are named after your grandfather Kenyua, because Kenyua, we all know what is Kenyua. Maybe he was taking a lot, either a lot of porridge, tea, water, whatever he was taking, that is Kenyua. Maybe the baby has been born along the way. How do you call that baby? Wanjira. Alizaliwa kwa barabara. Then you go to our Kamba brothers and sisters. You find somebody has been named Mwende. You all know Mwende is somebody who is loved. So, and so on, and so on, and so on. Every song, when you're singing that song, that is when you would want. That is when you would name the person according, even some features. Sometimes you give birth to a baby is very healthy, very strong, and you find that they are calling that child Njogu. Njogu, we all know an elephant is very strong. So we have talked about that assignment. You go and find out what your name means. Then there is another song after the naming song. Now you have the baby, birth song. You have named the child. Now the child will start crying. We all know babies cry. Actually, even today in the hospital, if you give birth to a baby and the baby doesn't cry, I don't think the doctors can release the baby, say that the baby is not okay or not alive. So when the child cries, you have the lullabies, a lullaby. These are songs which were sung to soothe the baby. Mostly they were sung by women because you know women have the soft voice. You know when a man wants to sing a lullaby, you may end up scaring the baby more. You are singing the lullaby, but you are making the baby even wonder. La la to la la. No, the lullaby you should, because it's supposed to lull the baby to sleep. Lull. You are supposed to use a soft tone, and then you are still shaking the baby. You know, cry, baby, cry. You get it. Now you are singing the lullaby. Our child is now becoming a big child, either a big boy or a big girl. You come to another type of song which is confused with lullaby, but we'll explain the difference. Children songs or play songs. Children's songs or play songs. The difference between a children's song and a lullaby is sung either by a nanny or a mother or even an elder sibling to make the baby either sleep or stop crying. But the children's song is sung by the child when they are out there playing. Your baby now will go out there, start interacting with other babies, and they will start singing their songs. Those are what we call the play songs or the children's songs. Like the one we started with the Kanyo Nikaja, Ekogwaja, Nami, and so on. Those are children's songs sung by children when they are playing. An adult cannot sing a children's song to a child. You let the child sing the song. Then our baby is still growing. We said it's a curve. It's a curve. From the time this baby has been born, it's a curve. Now the children are singing. Eventually, they will mature up a bit. Wakuwe sasa wamekuwa watu wakubwa. Now that child will need to feel like an adult. Now if you ask people here who is an adult, they will tell you anybody with an ID. But in the African society, you are considered an adult. An adult was somebody who undergo circumcision. So we had initiation songs or circumcision songs. Every community had their own song, depending on where they circumcised. Some were taken to the river, some to the forest, and so on and so on. Nyimbo za jandoni. Now that it is to make now the child. This is no longer now a child. This is now a youth. This is now a young man. In some communities, they had the outrolled FGM. It's no longer legal to circumcise the girls. Nowadays, girls still undergo initiation, but the initiation of girls now is to give them advice, to tell them now how to behave as a girl, how to behave like a woman, how to treat your husband in the future when you are married, how to, that is the initiation girls go through. But in some communities, in the traditional African setup, girls used to undergo FGM, that is the female circumcision. Maybe still there in some remote places, but if you know a place where there is FGM because it's outlawed, feel free to contact the number on the screen and it can be followed up. Now, the initiation songs, now the person, because now it is not a baby anymore, they come out of initiation feeling now they are youth. Now you are now an adult. What do you start doing when you are an adult? We go to the other type of song. Work songs. You have been initiated. Now you come to the community. You come to the community. What do? You start working. When you are working, they were having songs for work to make the work easier. And you know the good thing about the African society? They would work as a team. you would find them going to the shamba. They can say, today we are going to teacher Ernest shamba, we dig together, we have lunch together, tomorrow we go to the other. No, like nowadays where it's like kila mtu kivyake. In the African society, they used to work as a team. So the work songs, as they were, if you are digging and you are digging and you are singing, I know if you do your good research and you ask, they have sent you to either your parent, I hope your parent is not a Gen Z, because they may not be well advanced, your grandparent, the songs they used to sing when they were working. Every community have the song. You work and work and work and sing. You know, when you are singing, you don't even get tired. You don't even realize if you are in the shamba, you end up digging a very large portion. But if you sing when you are quiet, my friend, you will be very, very, very tired. So our baby, our adult now has worked. Now, when you work and work and work, and you are an adult who has been initiated, you go now to the most popular song, the songs which were loved by the youth. And this we call the love song. Love songs, now you are coming from work and you meet somebody and you feel like what you say, roho yako imetoka ikaanguka chini, because you have seen that person. Now you start singing the love songs. And every community have a love song. I don't want to start singing the songs. It is still part of your assignment to research the songs. But this is a song to praise your lover. A song to express your feeling to the lover. You want to express the feeling. You want to show this person that you are special. Umemchagua katikati ya wengi. What separates that person from the others? When you sing this song, you see even now, like when a young man will start singing to a young girl, you see the girl biting the finger, doing some funny things with the leg, and you know now that the song is having an impact. Again, even the tone of the love song, it has to be like a lullaby. Smooth, a smooth voice, romantically, looking at the person in the face. You cannot sing a love song to somebody and you are singing to someone who is there and you are looking this side. It will not make sense. So those are love songs, and I know you know many examples. Next time when we have a lot of time, we will actually sing all these songs. Now, you have sing this love song, and the person you are singing the love song to has fallen. Hata yameanza kukuimbia hiyo wimbo kama penzi. What follows from there? We go to the other category. Wedding song. Ohiki we mureo, ae we mureo. Now people will come with gifts. They will come, sing the wedding songs, have fun. You know, a wedding is a place of fun. You don't take your stress to a wedding. Even if you are, when you are invited, you know, nowadays, unlike our forefathers in the African community, where a wedding, everybody will come. In the African society, they never needed an invite. If so and so are getting married, the whole village will be there. Nowadays, it's like you have to get a card. Nowadays, it's like a wedding is a business. You have to know who you are inviting. Even in some weddings, they have to know the gift you are giving. Sometimes I get very amazed. Nowadays, you go to a wedding and you find they have a table for gifts, and then you are proceeding to where the food is being served. Now, when you are making that line, it will be very difficult for you to go to the food if you don't have a gift. You have to put the gift. And if you make a mistake of putting a very small gift, it reflects in the food they will serve you. And also now you find even the guests, sometimes they give the gift according to the food they are given. Mtu amekuja kwa harusi yako, umemwekea kamchere kidogo. Kama hakuwa ametoa zawadi, kama alikuwa atoe 1,000, unaona anaigawa kwa mfuko. anabakisha 800 anatoa 200. But that is now the contemporary society. In our African setup, in our African society, a wedding was a happy occasion. You would come, you shower praises to the bride and the groom. You are happy for them. If they get gift, you give whatever you could. If you are a farmer, you give them bembes and boshos. If you are a hunter, you give them what you, even an antelope or whatever you have gotten. If you are, whatever you are doing, you give them that gift. Those that will sing the wedding songs. And now our young man who has now married the bride, you know, they had to go and start living. He was working, he fell in love, now he's married. Now there are other songs like hunting songs. You know when you go hunting, it's a way of providing for your family. You go and you in the forest, you hunt whatever you get. If you get a lot, if you get kama umeenda umewinda, some people are very good in setting traps to trap animals, and others would go with spears, arrows, whatever you could use. Some would go with slings, stones. Some hunted using dogs. Every community had its own way of hunting. Now, hunting songs, you go, you get whatever you can get. You come, you provide for your family, they will eat. If you have hunted a lot, you can use another chunk to do some trade, some barter trade. Mimi nimekuja na sungura, na wewe uko na mahindi. Tukatana hiyo sungura, ubaki na nusu, na mimi nusu, na wewe unigawie mahindi, si kila mtu amekula. Those are the hunting songs. Then we have others we call the praise songs. Praise songs or panegyrics. Praise songs, these are songs or the epic songs. You sing this song, kumpea sifa. It is not like, these are not the religious songs. It's another type of song students usually confuse. You confuse the praise songs with the religious songs. I will mention the religious songs, but the praise songs, these are just songs to praise somebody. Nowadays you praise the politicians, so and so, namtolea kavimbo, naanza kumsifu how they do good. You know, you can praise a leader in your community. You can praise, you praise your husband. Now, other than the love song, you come to the praise song. If this person comes from hunting, and with a very big catch, killing a very big deer on antelope, the village start praising you. Those were the praise songs or the epic songs. And then from there, remember, and like today we have the soldiers to protect our borders, to protect us from the terrorists, the Al-Shabaab. In the African setup, we had warriors. Every community had its own warriors. And the warriors, their work was first and foremost to protect the community from harm. You go all the way to Nyanza, you get warriors like the Luanda Magere, you had the Chinkololo in Kisi, and so on. These were people, the warriors, they will go to war. And that is where we come to our other category of song, war songs. These songs were sung during war. You start singing them when you are going to war, to gain the confidence, also to scare the enemy. You know, when you're dealing with song, every song have its own specific functions. So these war songs, one of the main functions are to scare the enemy, to gain confidence, also to add the courage. You know, when you are fighting and you are singing, it encourages you. Now, unfortunately, in a war, every war has casualties. Now our young man who was in love, who wedded, who was hunting for the family, who was being praised, now our young man has gone to war. And what happens now in the war? Our young man, unfortunately, after winning many battles, becoming a hero in the community, being praised, unfortunately, we say, kuna ile siku, ni siku ya nyani, siku ya, so is that a Swahili saying? I can't remember it well. Siku ya nyani kufa miti uteleza. Now our young man, our young warrior, unfortunately succumbs to death. And that is where now we come to the dirges or the funeral songs. Reke yakahuroke tiga ikumurira. So you get these funeral songs. One of the things I've noticed some students confuse, you will find a student telling you that the person who died is singing the funeral song. No, the song is sung by the bereaved. The bereaved, these are the loved ones who have been left behind. Wale wapenzi wameachwa, they will sing for you a song. Every community had songs. They will come there, sing, sing, sing. You know, it's a way of mourning. And again, unlike other songs, we will do a recap of all the songs to connect the dots. Unlike other songs, a funeral song, you had to show the emotions of sadness. We don't expect you to be singing a funeral song when you are laughing. No, you have to show the sadness. You have to show the sorrow. Actually, in some communities, I believe a friend of mine was telling me it happens even now. In some communities, if, you know, in African society, you are supposed to be united. Wanasema nyumba ambayo ina wageni ama nini ni ya wachawi. Now kama ulikuwa mchawi, of course you don't expect people to come to your funeral, and if they come, they will not cry. Now a friend of mine was telling me in some parts, I'm not sure which parts, they have people we call the professional mourners. These are people who are actually paid money to sing the funeral songs and to cry. And you know, if you don't pay them, you know, they cry, shed the tears. Then in the middle of the song, they tell you first to give the deposit. If you don't give the deposit, they stop crying and they leave the funeral. So they can even extort you if they cry too much. You know, they are crying so that they can influence the others. Now, but in our African societies, because of the unity, everybody was doing good. Like the person in our story, every person who was doing good, definitely people will come sing the funeral songs, find out a song in your community, venye mulikuwa mnampenda sana Mungu. You know, the song even makes the soul of the departed person be at peace, because you are now, you express your feelings, those tears, you are saying the goodbye. Those are the funeral songs. Of course, there are some other songs, the religious songs. Pardon? Hello? Yeah. The religious songs, these are just songs sung to praise your creator. Remember, in the African societies, every society had their god. It is one god, but like in Kikuyu, they have Mwenenyaga. Every community, you find out from your community. So basically, that was our lesson for today. And having concluded the lesson, I hope you have understood The main thing is that everything done in the African setup was done with a song. So you can try to connect from birth until the person dies. And also now when you go to the specific song, as you go to every specific song, try to understand. You even ask yourself, what is the function of that song? Birth song. The main function there, we are just doing a recap as we conclude. A birth song or the cradle song, it was just to celebrate a newborn. Then the naming song, to give that child a name. The lullaby, to make that child sleep or to soothe the baby. The children's song, when you go to play, initiation song, when you are going to become an adult, work song. All these songs, they are connected. So when you are able to connect that from birth song, and you connect all the way to the dirge. He said a dirge is a funeral song. If you're able to connect this, then you will never have a problem with that topic of songs. So with that, we come to the end of our lesson. I hope at least we have learned something. I hope you will be able to, yes, sir, you will be able to handle that. So as part of the assignment, I have been giving you some assignment here and there as the lesson was going on, but I want to just conclude by telling you, first of all these songs, go and get the characteristics. I gave you the features, the general features of the songs. Those are general. So go and get the specific features of every song. And also, and the number 2, the one is features of songs, specific now, because the features of a birth song is different from the feature of a dirge. Then get the functions of each song. Why was this song sung? And the last assignment I want you to do is for every classification, every type of song, at least know a song from your community or from another community, a song you can sing. So that in the exam, when somebody is asking you about a lullaby, there is a song that comes to your mind. When somebody is asking you about a war song, there is a song that comes to your mind. And as I finish, remember we started by recapping what we did last time. I will still urge you, last time when we were dealing with oral literature, we dealt extensively with the narratives. I would ask you to check our channel. The videos are still there online. You can go and look for oral literature. You will get the narratives. And the next time we meet, we will be going into details on the short forms. So I hope you have learned something as we have come to the end of our lesson. Again, I'm teacher Ernest Njuguna Mwangi from St. Anne's Mariaine Secondary School. Thank you for watching and thank you for being with us.